All right, here we are. Are you ready?
Yeah.
Caden got a new haircut. He looks great. All right, fitness grenades in the middle. 3, 2, 1.
Mr. B's Fitness Channel!
Boom! Everyone, today we are starting a new skill, and this new skill is lacrosse. Lacrosse is one of Canada's 2 national sports. The other national sport of Canada is, what do you think, Caden?
Hockey.
Hockey. Okay, and lacrosse is the other national sport. At one time, lacrosse was the only national sport of Canada, and they recently added hockey. Okay, so lacrosse was a game that was played a long time ago, okay, but it's also played today. There's 2 forms of lacrosse. There's a form of lacrosse called box lacrosse, and that's when you play in a hockey rink. And then there's something called field lacrosse, and that's when you play on a big field. Okay, it's similar to the size of a soccer field. It's very big, okay, and that's called field lacrosse. All forms of lacrosse involve body contact, okay, and stick checks. But when you're playing with your family or your friends, you're not going to do that. We also don't do that at Mulvey School. We give everybody an arm's length of space when they have the ball, okay? So Caden, put your arm out. Hold on to the stick with one hand. Put it out right in front of you, right in front of you. That's how much distance we give each player at Mulvey when we're playing lacrosse, so that everybody's safe, okay? The next thing you should always do if you're playing lacrosse with a friend is you should have some sort of eye protection, okay? Because the ball can bounce and hit you in the eyes, or the stick could come and hit you, okay? So it's always important to play with eye protection, and when we're at Mulvey, I have safety glasses that we wear, okay? Awesome. Those are the kind of the safety rules out of the way. Now, the first thing we're going to do is we're going to talk about how to hold the stick, okay? So, if you're left-handed, like Caden is, you're going to have your left hand midway down the shaft, okay? And it's going to do an underhand grip. And your right hand is going to be at the top of the shaft, and it's going to do an overhand grip, okay? So Caden actually uses a pencil with his right hand, but when he plays hockey, he shoots left-handed. So that means he has the same grip on the lacrosse stick as he would on his hockey stick. So his left hand is at the bottom, it's an underhand grip, and his right hand is at the top, and it's an overhand grip, okay? So that's how you want to grip the lacrosse stick. And as you can tell, we've been calling it a lacrosse stick. So what Caden's holding is a lacrosse stick, okay? And sometimes the shafts are made of wood, and sometimes they're made of carbon fiber, sometimes they're made of aluminum. It just depends. Okay, and then there's the head of the lacrosse stick, which is the black plastic piece, and then there's the netting, okay? And then the ball sits inside the netting just like it is right now when Caden's holding it. And you can see how the netting is kind of loose and the ball sits in what they call the pocket. It's a little pocket there, and it sits in the pocket. Yeah, perfect. And lacrosse balls are very, very hard, and as Caden just found out, they bounce really, really high. He threw the ball, bounced it on the ground, and it almost went on top of our neighbor's garage. But that's not his fault, because he didn't know how bouncy a lacrosse ball is. They're very hard, they're very dense, and they're very bouncy. Okay, so when we come back, the first thing I want to do, now that we know the basics of the stick and how to hold the stick, is I want to show you how to pick up the lacrosse ball. That's the first thing that I teach in class, and I want to teach you guys that too on this video, okay? Because you'll get frustrated trying to pick up the ball, okay? So Caden is now going to show you the fastest and quickest and easiest way to pick up a lacrosse ball, okay? So what you're going to do is you're going to take the back or the bottom of the stick, and you're going to put it on the ball like that, and then you're going to pull the stick back and scoop the ball, okay? Try it again, Caden. Okay, you're gonna pull it back and scoop the ball. One more time. Bottom of the stick on top and scoop the ball. Okay, and now I want to talk about something called trapping. So Caden, put the ball on the ground. Okay, and now take the stick and flip it over and trap it like that. Sorry. So that's called trapping. You're gonna turn the stick over and trap the ball. And when we play in school, if someone traps the ball like that, the first person to trap the ball, they get to pick up the ball. So everybody clears out of the way, they give them one arm's space of room, and then they get a chance to pick up the ball. So say you trap the ball in a game, Caden, now you can pick it up, okay? Show me how you pick it up. Good, excellent. 2 hands on your stick. Perfect. I'm going to teach you to start off with is you're going to take a step with your opposite foot, okay? So if you hold the lacrosse stick like me, okay, my left hand is on the bottom like Caden's, my right hand's on the top, my opposite foot is my right leg, okay? So my left hand is at the bottom, I'm going to take a step with my right leg, and that's qualified as my opposite leg, okay? So you don't want to have the stick like this and try and shoot it sideways, all right? It's not going to go the way you want it. What you want to do is you want to have the stick, the butt end of the stick pointed where you want to pass, okay, the bottom, the back of the stick, and you want to have the stick over your shoulder like this. Okay, it feels kind of crazy, all right, but that's what you want to do. So I've got my opposite foot forward, I've got my toe pointed where I want to shoot, I'm going to shoot into the net, and what I'm going to do is I'm simply going to bring my top hand down, and remember, wherever you point the top of the stick or this part of the stick, the head of the stick, that's where the ball is going to go, okay? So it went right in the net. Okay, so we'll do that one more time. So if I take a shot, I'm going to put the stick over my shoulder. Now, I'm using my left hand on the bottom, and that's the shoulder that my stick's going to go over. I'm going to take a step with my opposite foot. I'm going to transfer my weight, and I'm going to point the stick in the head of the stick to where I want to shoot. Okay, so right over my shoulder, the butt end of the stick is pointing where I want to shoot. I'm going to take a step and shoot or pass. Okay, so there it is. And remember, how do I pick up the ball? I put the bottom of the stick on the ball, pull it, and scoop. All right, thank you, Caden. Caden, thank you so much for helping me with lacrosse and giving us our first intro lesson on lacrosse. Lacrosse is a pretty tricky skill, but when you start to get the hang of it, it's a very fun game. I used to play it when I was a teenager and also when I was in elementary school, and there was no yawning. So like Caden was just yawning, I was never yawning when I played. I was always having fun, and it was one of my favorite sports that I ever played. So I'm positive you'll love it too, right? Okay, so hands in the middle, fitness grenades, here we go. On 3, 3, 2, 1.
Mr. Beast Fitness Channel!
Boom!